Alright, hello everyone, welcome to another game review. This one is actually my best performance so far, rating wise. Chess.com said they had a 2600 performance rating, so let's go over that game. It wasn't a super long one, so obviously the longer it went, the more opportunities I would have had to drop that number, but alas, let's jump in. So I had white, of course we have b4, we get knight to f6, which I just super hate, because it just kind of, I don't want to say counters you from the get-go, but it means that you're going to be playing a lot more of a boring opening. It means that he doesn't want to, get involved with my b4 nonsense by any means. At least when I see like hiccups. Whenever I see like an e5 or something, I at least think, okay, well we could have a little bit of, contesting going on, it'll be a good time. And then, I get disappointed, but getting disappointed on move one is just a whole different animal. But let's keep going. So obviously bishop here. He's looking to fianchetto. I'm just going to play e3 like always. He's just looking for a quick castle. I'll take central control. Get my knight out. He's going to play d6. So I know that this move is going to be coming. However, I don't mind trading my knight for his bishop. And I don't mind my queen recapturing right here. I think that that's pretty good for me actually. So I'm not going to go bishop e2 here to defend it or anything like that. If anything, he comes, I'll play h3, ask him what he wants to do, and then he'll either lose the tempo, he'll lose his bishop, or he'll take a trade that I'm okay with. So I move my knight on the other side of the board to c3. We actually get c5, which I don't see very commonly at all. I don't think it'd be bad to capture right here, but I mean, I'm always happy having a pawn on b5, so that's what I do, I push it. Now he contests this pawn here. So now things get a little bit tricky. I obviously don't really want to lift up with this knight, because when he recaptures, we'll have this exposed. And actually, now I'm kind of second guessing my thoughts, because which bishop is actually better here? His is. So if I could get that trade-off, that would be good for me from a positional aspect. Because he put a lot more work into getting his bishop there on g7 than I did putting mine on b2. And my bishop is never really going to do a whole lot anyway, so maybe in the future I will take this way. I actually want to see what the computer says, because they said I had one inaccuracy this game, so I wonder if this may have been it. But now I went here, and I was regretting this move, because if he captures, then I just pretty much wasted a tempo. But I didn't want to do this, because that feels like a waste of tempo too. And I didn't want to play a4, because that's kind of like, also kind of wasting tempo. These are all moves that I want to do like in response to something. And I didn't want to just capture because of, well, I guess I didn't think about that clearly beforehand. But I don't want to capture with pawn anyway. I definitely want to capture with my knight. But he presses forward, so he plays d4. And obviously this move would blunder up pawn. This move would just lose me my knight. And this move is just moving backwards way too much. So I went here, threatening c5. And he actually pushed one more time. Obviously I can't capture because I'm going to lose the bishop. So I am going to be thwarting my development a little bit. But these two are actually going to be more so weaknesses than they will be strengths for my opponent. Because I could temporarily move back a move or two, but these pawns can never move back. And he has no way of supporting this easily, right? I mean, he has to do two moves just to get his pawn there. He could put his bishop here if he wants to, but I'm already threatening with one, easily two. If I take this, I'll be threatening three different spots. So that pawn is very likely going to fall soon. And once I get a castle, like say I do choose to lift like this, I mean, my knight could even come to e1. My bishop could come up, and then I could go here. There's a lot of ways to grab this pawn. So even though my development is slowed, I think that I'm in very, very good hands here. But he goes queen to d6, and I could actually put my bishop right here, which is what I do, and he no longer can defend this pawn. Because the squares that would be touching this pawn, he does not have access to because of my coverage. So he's forced to go right back, and I pick up a free pawn. And now, like I said, I already have 2 threats on this, and he only has 1 defender. So he scatters to get a second defender. However, I do 2 things with this one move. First thing I do is I'm obviously threatening the bishop. If I could take that, then it'll again be my 2 pieces on this, and he'll only have the 1 defender. However, just me moving here gets rid of one of his defenders. And again, he has no easy way to kick this. He can kick this knight if he so wants to, but I mean, I could move back very easily, or I could just take at this point. So kicking wouldn't really do anything. And he just goes here. So I go here, and I have 3 points of attack on this, and he literally resigns, being a pawn down. And I think that it was fine for him to resign. I mean, he has like he has some development, but it's kind of lacking, and his pawns in the center, no less, got destroyed. So I will be 100% dictating this game. And if I do a game review, I just want to go to analysis. Oh, the review's taking its sweet time. Alright, let me just go here. What do they think is good? Knight takes d5. Yeah, so they would have preferred knight takes d5, like I thought. So looking backwards, I was able to figure out that that's a little bit better. But I played here. He plays d4. Ooh, that's cool. So I think you guys will see it at home if you were to review the video. But they actually showed that this was a good move, and then they showed that it was a bad move. So knight a4. Then he pushes. I go back. Queen here. Okay, so that was my one inaccuracy this game. And why is that? I don't know. It still seems good for me. But I guess they just wanted me to kind of go for this right away. Which I can respect. Yeah, I mean, it's also smarter just because this one more piece developed. You know, so if I'm going to attack a piece no matter what, you know, if I'm going to go for a pawn no matter what, let's develop something that I haven't developed yet. Not to mention that then I could get my bishop out, whereas if I take this pawn, I'm, you know, slowing down my bishop's development, and thus I'm slowing down my castling development, and thus I'm slowing down the development of this rook to a more optimal square. So that makes a whole lot of sense to me now. Yep, we get the free pawn. He goes here. Excellent move. He goes here. Now I go to b3, and yeah, we just get the resignation. He's down 3 at the moment. This pawn will be falling, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe he could have played on. I mean, at our rating, I mean, we still could easily fumble the bag here. But very nice winning position right here, I would say. But I am currently 7 wins and 1 draw and no losses since playing the 30-minute format on this account. I'll pull it up real quick. But we've slowly been making an ascent, and I'm hoping to get 1900 today or tomorrow. Then after that, we'll get 2000. But let me go to my full rapid stats. Yeah, because if you guys remember the video, this XX Phantom boy, okay, so I did lose one 30-minute game. I'm sorry. This is where I truly started. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. So I was pretty much going 50-50, if not like losing more 10 minutes. So the fact that I'm doing much better in these 30 minutes, I mean, just everything that I've been learning, whether it be books or positional stuff or from like watching streamers, all of that stuff I pretty much was not able to use in a 10-minute format because the game is just too quick. And if you're like a grandmaster or whatever, you could play those quick formats because you already understand all those to a high level. Whereas I'm just learning about this kind of stuff for the first time, really. So I really should have more time to kind of think and prepare. And these 30 minutes are definitely helping me. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Gonna try to reach 1900 for you guys here soon, and then 2000 not too soon after that.